for watching Digging Deep, and today we're gonna work on a Honda 70.
A Honda 70. That's right. Hey, good job, buddy. Yep, today we're going to work on the Honda 70. We just had it come in earlier this week. We already started to tinker with it a little bit, didn't we? We don't have any spark, so we're going to bring you along for the ride and try to diagnose this 2000 Honda XR70R. All right, Junior, so let's tell them what's going on here. We got this thing in, we got no spark, right? Mm-hmm. What are they possibly seeing over here a little bit, Junior? What's this? Oh, are we gonna tell them? We got something new to the family, guys. I didn't want to show you yet. Definitely need some TLC. It's got a fully rebuilt engine already. I did see there's a Chinese piston in here, but Project Redbird, Project CR125 is coming down the pipe, guys. We got some parts coming in for that, but that's a whole nother video, right? All right, so we're gonna dive right into this. We got some material on our phone here from the service manual, but a lot of times I kind of know what it is and I dive right in. Disclaimer, full disclaimer, guys, how I do things might not be the proper way, so always refer to your service manual. If you mimic what I do and have it, your bike explode, or it messes your bike up, it's on you, not me, guys. So refer to your service manual. I'm gonna do the best that I can to do it, but again, guys, everything I do may not be the proper way to do things, so do it at your own risk, right?
Yeah, I told him to check the spark plug.
You did.
For
yeah. Yep, good job, dude. All right, let's get into it. All right, me and my little buddy are gonna jump in here and see if we can't get a spark test, and we messed with some connections. We're just gonna confirm. Guys, a lot of times, if you just take this cap off, unscrew it off, you can unscrew this part. I like to start, with the simple stuff first. Just unscrew this, guys, and we already did this, by the way. I'm just kind of showing you how we did it. Unscrew this. Just confirm that, that's not all corroded in there. And see, that's not even the best connection. So I only cut about an 1/8 inch to a 1/4 inch off here. So we'll cut a little bit more off here real quick, guys. And then we'll screw this back on and just confirm that we don't have spark. I like to do this every time, especially on these old bikes. I just take and cut this. And right there you can see that, there's wire here. You make sure it's got good connectivity. Make sure this isn't all corroded up in there. Let's have a real good look. Get the flashlight there, buddy. We'll get the flashlight and look in there. Nothing appears to be really corroded or anything in there. It all looks pretty good. Let's see here, guys. I'm going to screw this back on and then we're going to check the spark, guys, okay? All right, guys, we got our brand new NGK spark plug. We twisted this coil back on the ignition coil wire here. And we're just going to confirm and make sure it doesn't have spark. Make sure you check your cutoff switch for your engine. Make sure that's not off. Always go over the simple things first and just double check things before you start tearing into stuff on the bike. So Junior's going to hold this very carefully up against this engine and not touch the metal, because why, Junior?
Because you don't want to get shot.
Yeah, you'll get zip zap zoiched. So we got make sure you get a good strong kick too, guys. And we have no spark there, right, buddy? Mm-hmm. No spark at all. I'd zoom you guys in a little bit. No spark at all. Mm-mm. Sometimes, guys, I like to take the kill switch here. Sometimes, guys, just double check the kill switch. Make sure, it's just not a bad switch, and it may start working if you mess with it, because you got to think, guys, this thing is commonly used a lot of times for killing the engine. Some of these do have a key down here as well for the ignition cutoff, so double check the key. There could be a key down here on these models, because I did see that in the service manual, guys. All right, guys, just real quick, some tools you're going to need for the job is a decent multimeter. We have a Fluke 323 here. It's just kind of your standard multimeter. I've used this one for some time. I know some of your cheaper ones can be a little sketchy, guys, so if you want to get into fixing stuff, definitely look at getting a decent multimeter, guys. And if I think about it, I'll drop one in the description of this video, the one I like to use. And there's better ones than this, especially for testing these motorcycles and stuff out. But this does the job, you know, for what we do. I'm going right towards this switch now. I want to make sure that the switch isn't our problem. And all this thing's going to do, guys, is ground out the ignition to shut it down. Real simple process. So we can take, it's just one wire in and one wire out. That's all it is. We can take and test this switch real quick. We're gonna trace this wire down real quick, and right there it is, buddy. So it is this wire here, right here, guys. So it looks like it is the black and white lead and green lead. So we'll take and pull these off. Okay, we got those leads disconnected. Let's jump in here and test this wire out. You gonna test it out? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, guys, forgive us for the background noise. Me and my little buddy here are starting to get a little warm. So we do have the fan running in the background. We do apologize. Okay, so real simple, guys. We're just gonna test this for continuity. Can you see that? We're just gonna test for continuity. That setting right there. And we're gonna put it on our leads. Junior's gonna walk around here and hit this rocker switch up here. Let's get you a better angle, guys. Hopefully you guys can see. So all I'm gonna do is hold my leads, get one lead on here. It don't matter if it's reverse polarity or not, guys, because it'll still work just the same. All right, go ahead, buddy. All right, so I think the switch is good. Yep. Switch it again. Switch it again. No good. Okay. Hey guys, I think we got a good switch there. So we just diagnosed the switch. Again, it's really easy to define this lead. Just kind of take your wire and kind of shift it back and forth. On some bikes, you may have to take a couple of the straps off because the wires are tucked in there pretty good and they kind of grab a hold of each other. But yes, it's just a black and white lead and green wire to your switch. So we know that's fine. We're going to go over here and just make sure we don't have spark real quick, and we'll be right back just to double check. All right, guys, again, refer to your service menu. I'm kind of jumping all over the place. It's what I do. We've got the CDI module off here, for lack of better terms. I think Honda calls it something else in their service manual. But we're getting the proper voltage off the stator. Stator's checking out. So now we're going to hop over here and make sure we don't have a bad wire or anything. And we're getting proper voltage here at the CDI unit. All right, it's my little rig ups, my pins to put in the pin connectors. I got my blue, yellow, and the red, black wire here. And we're going to see if we got our 100 volts, minimum 100 volts traced after the wiring fed from the stator itself. All right, guys, so I'm on the leads here, feeding the stator to the CDI box. We're going to kick it over and see if we get some voltage here. You want a good solid kick too. You're kicking it real light. I think the voltage might vary, but if you get a good solid kick, right there we hit 81, and I'm hitting my 89. So we got voltage. It should be over 100, guys. Let me back this thing up a little bit so I can get a full kick on it. So it should be, we should be getting 100 volts. Right there was 106. So, so the stator is doing its job. We got voltage to the CDI. The weird thing is, guys, I got the CDI unplugged here, and I plugged another CDI up that I had on the shelf, but it was used, and it was a no-go. So let's see what we can come up with. All right, guys, what I just noticed here is there is a key switch here. There is a key switch up under here, guys. So that could leave us to have a wire that's grounded out, I'm thinking. And I knew that there was a key switch. I seen it in the service manual, but it appeared that it was showing it over here. I didn't see it snuck up under here. This thing is cut, okay? So what that means is in this harness here, we could have a grounded out wire that is not enabling us to start the ignition. So what we're gonna do now, since everything's testing out pretty good, what we're gonna do now is remove the gas tank, remove the seat, get everything out of our way so we can get a good look at this harness, guys, for troubleshooting purposes. All right, guys, I believe we're making some headway now. Now we'll be able to get in here and sort some things out. We're gonna look for where these wires might have ended up. It may or may not have been done right. I should have probably sprayed this thing off. Right here looks like where it was. There's the snip wires. So we're gonna pull them out and just confirm that we're not grounding out or anything on this wire here. So we'll be right back. All right, guys, we're hooked up here. Feeding the ignition coil, and it should be 100 volt minimum if I'm looking at it right. And this is coming out of the CDI box, okay, because we have power in, and we have a green and yellow wire here, right there, the green and yellow black wire. I apologize. Should be a minimum of 100 volts when we kick this thing over. All right, guys, so just so we can confirm, I believe we just had a bad connection because we just randomly got spark, which was weird. So I think it was just a bad connection because everything was checking out that we were testing from the Stator. The service manual calls for 100 volts. You can ohm it and everything else. There's some tests in there. It's kind of vague, but everything was, it was given over 100 volt into the CDI unit, control unit, and then coming out, we got voltage too. And randomly, we started getting voltage. Now we did redo the cap and all there, but you know, if you're working on something similar to this, and you got a little box on here with some lines on it, that'll be a voltage regulator, so that'll switch everything over here from AC to DC, so be aware of that. And again, refer to your service manual. I hope this helps anybody that's trying to diagnose the electrical on these things, which is very similar to a lot of other bikes. Again, refer to your service manual. I'm going to put some pages in the video here. We're moving on to probably pulling the carburetor on this thing because the customer told me that they did have their kid put two-cycle engine gas or two-cycle gas mixture in this carb, so it's probably got the jets plugged up. I assume that pilot jet is definitely clogged since they're so small, and maybe even the main jet. So we're gonna pull this carburetor off here and have a look, guys. All right, we got spark and set the gas tank down, brought it down off the lift, and it fired right up. So it was either one or two things. It was either that a banded switch grounding out, or the ground itself, which I did go over, and or the pickup coil gap, which they're normally okay. They're normally when somebody puts a new stator or something in and don't gap it right. So it's working now.